Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, my band, the Taj Mahal Trio, had some upcoming studio time to track drums for our upcoming full length. So, I figured I'd take the time to swap out the batter and resonant heads on all of my drums. I figured I'd take a moment to show y'all how I go about doing this, as well as my preferred tuning method. So, to get started, you're going to need these four things: a drum head, a drum key, a drum stick, and some patience and, of course, eagerness to learn the process if this is something new to you. This first step is really easy. We're going to place the drum on a flat surface. I prefer a Lazy Susan. And we're going to just start taking off the tension rods. The order doesn't matter here. It's just simply just take all the rods off. Take the hoop and the head off. What I like to do is place the head down and put the bearing edge on top of it to protect it while we sit here and take off the bottom tension rods. Nothing special about this at all. Just take your time. Make sure you don't scratch the surface of the drum and make sure you protect the bearing edge. So this next step is situational. I haven't changed these heads in quite a while, so there was some debris, as you guys can see, between the head and the bearing edge. So just take a nice clean cloth and just wipe that off and get it all out. It does make a huge difference when you go to try to tune later. And while you're at it, I would take that same cloth and just, wipe down the bottom of your hoops to get any kind of residual debris off of there as well. All right, first up is the batter head. As you can see, this is for my 12-inch tom, so it's a Remo Clear Ambassador. A personal preference of mine when I put drum heads on is I will place the logo of the manufacturer matching the badge of the drum. Just a little cool thing that I do. And regardless if it's a clear or a coated head, what I do next is I put a soft towel in the middle and press down firmly just in the middle of the head just to get a nice little stretch going, which will help make sure that head stays in tune after we've done our job. Now for a coated head, a helpful tip would be to stretch out where the head hits the seam, just like this. And the idea is that you are, breaking loose that seam a little bit. That way when you put it on the drum, it doesn't stretch out as much afterwards. All right, now that we've got that head nice and pre-stretched, we can put the hoop back down and begin starting the threading for each tension rod. This is where that Lazy Susan comes in handy. So what I'm doing right here, I'm just getting a few threads into each lug one by one. I'm not doing any tightening yet. And at that point, I can use both hands to cross finger tighten each tension rod at the same time. Again, this is where that Lazy Susan comes in handy. It's pretty clutch. So I'll just spin that drum around and get a nice even finger tension until I know I have a good starting point. And then we can begin to use our drum key and our ears at that point. So this next part is something I personally like to do, and that's pushing down right at the hoop where it meets each tension rod. It allows you to get a little bit more of a finger tension for each tension rod. I love that because I get a little bit more of a tighter tune right before we end up breaking out the drum key for this next part. So if you guys noticed, I haven't used the drum key yet, but if you like to start your tuning with a drum key, if you want to pause the video, here's a diagram of different lug layouts and the order that you need to tune each lug. All right, now before I even touch the drum with a drum key, I kind of like going around to each corner of the drum to see how our tones sit after we've done our finger tightening. We should have a nice even tone here. So what I'm doing here is applying just enough pressure in the center of the head to mute the overtones. That way when I go around to each tension rod, all I'm hearing is the tone of each rod. We're looking for any inconsistencies. If we hear anything higher or lower, then we can stop. We can take our drum key out and make adjustments as needed. And of course, we need to put the resonant head back on. We'll do the same exact thing that we just did. At the time of filming this video, I did not change the resonant heads, but I ended up doing after this video. So just basically follow the same steps and you're good. And here we are. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.